We've all been there. It's 2 a.m., you just finished the last page of your book, closed the cover, and now you're wrecked. Or elated, shocked, frustrated, distraught, or maybe a combination of so many emotions you can't put a name to what you're feeling.
But there's an ache in your chest, and all you want to do is turn to someone who knows what you just went through, who you can talk about that favorite scene with, swap theories about the sequel, gush over the hottie your main character landed.
You might try to explain it to your significant other, suggest the book to a colleague, or swap a couple surface-level thoughts with a friend who read it years ago. But there's no one who truly gets it. No one who will tear each moment apart with you, put it all back together, and start the next great read by your side. But what if we told you that now there's someone who will?
I'm Brooke.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Elena.
And we're the High Ladies of the Book Court. Let's read your next favorite book together.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? Has this book begun to ruin or has finished ruining your life yet? Either way, you should come join us as we talk about it. We just started Iron Flame, so absolutely do not spoil it for us, or we will find out where you live and we'll come ruin another book for you. We just finished through chapter 16, 1 through 16. Already a lot is happening. Also, if you're just jumping into this because this just somehow pinged on your YouTube feed or whatever, go back and read Fourth Wing if you haven't yet. This is the second of the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. Yeah, there's a lot that happens before this, and we're going to dive right in. So if you haven't read that, this is going to start spoiling things for you. Just a full disclosure there. But I don't really know where to start.
Let me start.
Take the floor, Jamie.
Where starts off? Chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
The public notice. Did anyone else catch that it's by Justinia's relative?
Oh, no. I caught the foreword or whatever it's called was by Justinia. Again, I did not.
Transcribed by Sorella Neilwort.
Wow. Okay.
And assuming that it's before Justinia joins the scribe quadrant.
Yeah.
That it could be like her mother or, some relative.
It would have to be, right? Because so what I was mentioning is that there's this book is a captured historical document, and everything in here is to preserve the people who fought in the war, and that's by Justinia. So I think we're supposed to assume that these books are written through the historical documents that Justinia has curated. So I think it would have to have come before where we are now.
Yeah, which I appreciate because every now and then I'm like, Justinia is not making it through this series. There's no way. She's too good. They're going to Liam her. But then I'm like, no, they have to let her live.
Liam her. Oh, wow. Yeah, do we want to jump right into Justinia? Because she's also now one of my new favorite characters. I really liked her in the first book, but was also worried that she either wasn't really going to be developed all that much or would die quickly. And now I'm ride or die for Justinia.
I was a little worried that she was pro Navarre, but I think we're not in that boat with her.
I do keep getting worried because I feel really strongly about at least Justinia, Rhee, and Riddick being that they would come and join the rebellion, or I guess we're calling it the revolution now, that they would join the revolution if and when Violet told them about it. But I keep being worried that there's got to be someone who won't, and I don't know who it is. And now it seems like Justinia is definitely on board. She has realized things are sus and she wants to get to the bottom of it. So I feel like Justinia would realize that wrong has been done and needs to be righted.
I'm so excited for her to read the folklore books.
Yes. Yeah. And I love I love in her like scribe way, she realized like when you told me that we were missing a book, I knew it was either one that I couldn't find it, but then when I realized it wasn't that, it was either that it was missing or that it was missing on purpose. And I love that she's just so smart that she
Hmm.
realized that third possibility and is now like totally good to figure out why are the archives missing books on purpose.
And really so like
So
trusting
smart.
of Violet.
Hmm.
Like she would probably like ride or die for her.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Elena. I feel like you've got something to say about Justinia.
No, I'm just trying to figure out where to go next because at first I
Mm.
was very caught up on you saying you don't know who's not going to join the revolution when the clear answer is Dane.
Well,
But
no, Dane, absolutely not. I think the worry in the back of my mind is that potentially Ree would not be okay with the rebellion. And my gut, like my heart says that she would be, but I'm wondering if there will be a point in time, potentially like end of book 2 into book 3, where Ree and Violet will have this rift between them when Violet has to come out and be like, I'm part of a rebellion, and Ree won't get that immediately. And it's just like Ree keeps trying to reach out to Violet to be like, I know something's going on. Please talk to me, but like talk to me when you're ready. Like she's being such a great friend, like such an amazing friend. And I'm hoping that that will translate into her joining the group, but I'm just worried. I'm so worried.
yeah, I agree. I feel like there's going to come a point where like she's reaching out so much and then like there's just going to be a breaking point for her. And like, I don't know. It seems like where it's building.
I think there was that first test. I mean, I'm calling it a test, but when Violet stepped in to help Sloane,
Mm.
didn't tell Ree what was going on because just to like protect her being squad leader. I think that was part of like a test to see how she does without like involving her and getting her into trouble. So depending on how, and I forget if Ree did anything about it.
Not yet.
If nothing, then maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah. And maybe Violet is leading up to, can I at least trust Ree enough to tell her I can't tell you things and that Ree won't do anything with even that information? And maybe that is what she's doing. Maybe she's testing her Jamie and just seeing like, can she keep a secret even if she doesn't know what the secret is?
But at the same time, shouldn't everyone be like practicing protecting their mind and shielding against Dane?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's definitely gonna blow up on her.
Do
Yeah.
we know what Varish can do? Like, do we know what his they mentioned that it's secret that like he doesn't have a patch, but Violet's also always trying to stay away from contact with him.
So they have mentioned at least twice, but I think maybe 3 times, definitely twice, where people have not touched Varish's. It's Varish, right?
Mhm.
Varish's skin. And I think the implication that we're supposed to take is like maybe he could be like Dane and see memories. My current theory is that his signet is similar to Jack's and that he can use his signet to cause pain because it's been very clear through the book that he is like a torturer, and there's all this weird stuff going on with Nolan and like healing people. And I know Riddick thinks that torture is going on. So obviously it's not that that's going on because if Riddick says it is, it can't be that. But he clearly has the ability to torture people. And I don't know if that's like with a pain signet or if it's with like maybe he can make them see things that aren't there kind of thing. I don't know.
Good theories.
Yeah. I feel like it's gotta be secret experiments, right? Like it's gotta be secret evil experiments.
The only other thing that I thought of is that Nolan's power is the same as Brennan's, right? They're both menders.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if it's something with figuring out like the ward making, like the metal that they use to make the daggers, and if he's trying to get Nolan to like mend something to create like a better weapon. That's the only other thought that I've had, but I also think that it's probably secret torture experiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, mending the words doesn't seem evil enough to me.
Yeah. Like someone's got to be getting their shit pushed in back there. Um, I don't know. I hate him.
But yeah, I don't like him.
No, he's awful. And like I love now I'm paying extra attention. Like I think through the second half of Fourth Wing, I realized that the little snippets before each chapter like tell you something about what's coming in the chapter. And I loved that. I think that was like the first one of chapter 1 was like the thing on Varish and like how 3 people. Oh no, it was the I think it was chapter 2. He gets actually introduced in the like start of chapter thing. Nope, it's not 2
Yeah,
either.
he
It's got to
did.
be one of the first chapters, and it just said that like 3 people had died while in his custody before he was asked to leave, basically.
Chapter 5.
There you go.
But yeah.
Yeah,
He just
because
seems
I
very
remember
bad.
reading that one and being like, "Who the heck is this guy? I
Mm,
don't like
Yeah.
that we are getting introduced to him."
yeah, yeah, he seems awful. Also, just like Dane's dad is also super awful, and
Gross.
this book keeps tricking me into kind of feeling bad for Dane. Like, there are moments where I'm like, oh, Dane clearly had no idea. I kind of feel bad. And then I'm like, no, Brooke, be angry at Dane.
I don't know if Dane did have an idea. Like, I want the blowout scene. Like, I want Violet and Dane to finally have the what the heck happened moment because I feel like we're missing things.
And like, it can't happen yet because then Violet would have to admit like what actually happened, which she isn't doing to anyone. Like, they're not even really admitting it to General Atos either, even though he was like, I know, and dead people can't talk. And I was like, oh, this is getting
Yeah, like
real.
we had a little bit of it, like some sort of confrontation during the parapet scene for first years. Now that like Violet and the team are leading it, but it wasn't satisfying, you know.
That scene was great though.
It wa-
It was very funny. Just
Can we
Xaden
talk
and
about the
Violet both.
newcomers?
Oh yeah, we can definitely talk about all the new people. You want to start with the king's son, who I think is so interesting.
Yes, I was definitely shocked. I didn't know the king had sons.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. It like kind of sounded familiar about the king's son dying from book 1, but I couldn't remember if I was just like deluding
Yeah,
myself into
during
remembering that.
threshing, I think,
Yeah.
like the eldest. But now this
Yeah.
is the youngest, right? The youngest son.
They just said his 3rd son, so I don't
Oh,
know out of
third.
how many. But yeah,
But
Eric, right?
but it's really Cam
Cam.
Tory.
Yeah, Cam Eric Torrey, I think is his name. Because she said
Mhm.
she recognized the middle name, but yeah, yeah, really interesting that he's just like, I mean, I can't imagine that his dad is a great dad, so I guess I get it, but I'm very interested to hear
Yeah.
more from him about like why.
Mhm. But why?
Yeah. You had unlimited money and like didn't need to risk your life 1,000 times in 12 months. Why didn't you do that? Yeah. What do we think? Do we think
Another
that he like,
character.
yeah, go ahead, Elena.
I was just gonna say it's another character I thought we were gonna like. They were like, "Oh, it's the king's son." I was like, "Cool, we get to learn about the king's son," and then like we've seen him once.
Mhm.
And I just like I keep thinking we're gonna get more details. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to only reading 16 chapters of a book.
You're
It's
like, by
not
now
going
I'd be
fast
done.
enough. Yeah.
Well, so we've seen him a couple times, right?
Yeah.
And like
On
the
the
things that
mask.
the things I've taken away from the few moments that like Violet has noted him are one that he's like very strong and well trained. Like he's very good on
Yep.
the mat. So he clearly wasn't like loafing around just like, I'm going to be a king's son. So it seems to me like this or something similar was something that he's wanted to do for a while. But the other thing is that he actually protects the girl standing next to him when Solas like goes unhinged and like kills half of the riders.
Oh,
He
that's a
like
good point.
covers her body with his, which tells me that he's like a good person. Like I trust him.
I like that. Good catch.
Yeah.
That is a good
Also,
catch. I was too busy focusing on Violet covering Sloane.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
also, what an insane scene with Varsh's dragon. But I love that like Tarn jumps in and be like, no, no.
Yeah. Just like it makes me angry. Again, like why are we
Yeah.
doing this, Navarre? Why are we letting children fall from a rock bridge? Why are we torching not like innocent people? They're all innocent, but even like the ones that were just standing there, like Solas is like, "Oh, I'm just going to like let go a huge fireball." Like, what? Yeah. I don't know. I really hope that Tarn kills that dragon and Varish at the same time. Like both of them would be great, but
But
yeah.
Tarn. Right?
Tarn.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Tarn. He did get his eye out, so that's something.
Yeah, they had a skirmish in the past that we don't know the details of yet, which is very interesting.
I love that he's putting them in their place.
Yes. He's so powerful. I love Taryn.
And so protective of Violet. Like I love that about him.
He's fantastic. Before we talk more about everyone's favorite dragon, or at least second favorite dragon, we can decide which one we like the most after this. But we have to talk about Sloane. We kind of mentioned her.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming at all. Like
Nope.
not
It
a
makes
single
sense.
second. It does, but at the same time it doesn't. Like I'm so curious to figure out from Sloane's point of view what happened. Like does she actually know what happened? And I mean like you're right, Elena, she's not wrong. Like Liam did die protecting Violet. But it's like also Liam like that's what he wanted to do and like he loved Violet and Violet loved him and like she's clearly missing key details that
Mhm.
didn't get back
Mhm.
to her. So
I
I'm
mean,
curious to hear from her on that.
it's not going to help their relationship that Violet's holding his letters over her head to force her to do what she wants. I mean, love it. Great move by Violet.
So
Yes.
Checks
good.
100% of the boxes, but not going to help them get closer.
I appreciate that in doing that, Violet made it more important to honor her promise to Liam and keep Sloane safe rather than like having Sloane like her, which was not something that I think I would be confident that I could do as a rampant people pleaser. I was just like, wow, good job. Like that is, I was really proud of her for doing that.
Yeah, commending her. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I feel like yeah, Sloane just has to turn around because she has to trust she also has to trust like the revolution, right? Like Imogene has like a much closer and I love like their relationship now, compared to like Fourth Wing and like Bodhi's involved too. So it's like you should pay attention to what they're doing. And if they're trusting Violet, then we should too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I think she's just grieving.
oh yeah. I don't see us losing two Mari kids in the series, or at least like if Sloane were to die, like it needs to be after she's like fully part of the group and we love her and she like dies tragically in the last book or something. But yeah, she's definitely got to come around for sure.
Yeah.
It'll just take some
Yeah.
time.
I will. My one sticky that has to do with Dane in this bit is Dane did a thing when he made sure that Sloane got to be on their squad.
That was one of the moments where I was like, am I being too hard on Dane? And I keep reminding myself, no, I'm not. Because I do fully believe that he knew what was going to happen to some extent. And even if he didn't know fully what his dad was doing, like setting up the ambush and setting them up to die, he knew that she was choosing Xaden and she was going somewhere dangerous. And I do believe that in that moment, he was genuinely like, fine, whatever. Like, I'll miss you if you die.
Okay, but hear me out. Not to support Dane, because Dane. Oh my God, am I taking Dane's side?
Yeah, but
It
go,
sounds like
do it. Somebody's got
But
to. It's not me.
there is a possibility they found out some other way, and like we're just reading in to everything Dane did. Like, do we know what Dane's dad's signet power is? Like, Dane's dad was also at that party, and if he has my like, if somehow
I'm going to stop you there.
I don't know.
I could meet you halfway and say that possibly when Dane said I'll miss you, he genuinely meant like, you haven't chosen me
Yeah.
and clearly we have problems. And he didn't know that she was going to die or even think that she would potentially die just from being outside the wards. But in that moment where Xaden and Violet like read Dane the Riot Act in front of everybody and embarrass the shit out of him, Xaden whispers in Dane's ear Athevine, and he like is shook from him saying that. So I'm thinking now, saying it out loud, potentially Dane didn't know. But when Xaden said that, maybe Dane realized that the information that he had been giving had led to Violet almost dying. Maybe he's trying to be better. I don't think I can forgive him still, but maybe he's trying to be better.
No, if he did what he did, I can't forgive him. I'm just saying there's a chance. I want the blowout. Like there's another instance of there being information we're missing.
There has to be some conversation between the two of them. Like, yeah, it's coming. For sure.
For now, I'm just still mad at him.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll ever be not mad at him, but I could believe that he didn't know that she was about to go die, and it makes me slightly less angry than I was in the last episode.
But why say I'll miss you? Like, what a choice of words. Why didn't he say that then when she went through presentation or through threshing or at the parapet?
I think because right before that, she made it very clear that she was with Xaden and like wanted nothing to do with Dane. And it's possible that Dane, in his small Napoleon complex way, was just like, fine, like do whatever, have a nice life. Like, I don't need you. Maybe.
Another reason I don't like him.
Maybe he's only 85% evil.
I don't think he's evil. Like that's the thing. There's like clearly evil characters in this series, like Varsh and his dad. But Dane is like someone that just doesn't know where the line is.
Yeah, he's like too
I
stupid.
think that's fair.
To get it.
Yeah.
Too much of
He's
a
a
rule
big
follower.
dumb man.
Yeah, big dumb idiot, following the rules, not thinking through his actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jamie, you mentioned Imogen, and I also like now have a huge girl crush on her. Like, am just so happy that she and Violet are bonding, and I love that she has someone to talk to about like everything that has happened. Like, she doesn't have to keep things from Imogen, and I love that like Imogen also is like trusting her with things. And I loved their little moment where she like kind of brought up like, hey, why haven't you forgiven Xaden yet? And she's like, I'm not going to forgive him. Like, you can't tell lies to the person that you're in love with. Like, sleeping with someone is a different thing. And she was like, I don't want to hear about your sex life. Like, go talk to someone else about it. Like, I love that there's still like that little part of their relationship where they're not like fully there, like sleepover, talk about boys there.
Yeah.
But I love their relationship.
Me too. Like they have their own cute little banter. It's so cute.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they'll ever explore, because it was hinted in Fourth Wing that from Xaden that she and Garrett could be a thing. So I wonder if that will be explored in this one.
Yeah, I hope so.
We just haven't seen him because he's often.
Elena, do you want her or him with someone else?
No, the second they get together, one of them's gonna die. So the longer it takes them to get together.
Yikes! Dark. It's very dark.
That is real dark.
I'm sorry. Like, I feel like I've just gotten so much more pessimistic after Nadine. It's like, it's one thing to kill a character in a battle. Like, when Liam died, I was devastated. But I also understand, like, if you're in a battle scene, someone has to die. Nadine was chilling in a classroom. Like, that was brutal.
Yeah.
So unexpected
Very
and
shocking.
unnecessary.
Yeah. It really set like a very dark tone. And I mean, like, it was a very dark scene. Like, the reason that she died was because someone had paid off one of the first years to assassinate Violet. And she just thought it was funny to pretend she was Violet for 5 seconds and literally died for it. And yeah, but no, I mean, like, Rebecca has been very clear multiple times that she is not going to pull any punches. And like, I will admit Nadine was like not my favorite character. She was cute, but she was just like one of the like extra characters. So I wasn't like crushed. I just read it and was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, that's it. That no rebuttal. No, Elena, go.
Like
Can we
jaw drop.
please circle to my favorite unhinged theory of this section?
Yes.
Which is when they say they buried Liam instead of burned him.
Did they?
Explain.
Yeah.
Go on, Elena.
Oh yeah, go off. Is Liam
Wait,
alive?
I need to find my... Well,
Did
no,
you find a
so
loophole
I
in
don't
which
think
Liam is alive?
I mean, I think he's dead. Like, he's dead. But, like, they're so weird about burning everything. I will stay on the it's weird that they have to burn everything path. Like, they burn, like, all their belongings and they burn all their dead. And I remember last time I was like, Liam, they could bring him back somehow. And Jamie was like, no, they burned him. But then in this section, they said they buried him by the lake, but they didn't burn him. And it's just weird that when they burn everyone, Liam, they didn't burn Liam.
They said they buried Liam?
They said they buried him.
Wait, like, did Xaden say that when they were, like, going into graduation?
Let me see if I can find it. They said, Xaden specifically said that he was burned.
Oh, here. Where... I found my sticky, but now I just need to find where it is on the page.
I'm wondering if my brain, like, I'm wondering if I read buried and my brain just, like, put burned in there and I just kept going. Like, nope.
Oh, it's when her mom and Dane's dad are interrogating her about what happened. And wait.
I'm thinking I don't think they have to burn the bodies because what they do with the writers who aren't claimed by their families, they bury them under a stone at the base of the castle.
Okay. Oh, I think that's right. Yeah.
So it might not be as weird, Elena. It might not be that you have to burn the body, just the possessions.
Update. Now I'm reading it. It's saying it's burned, but I could have sworn I read buried. It could have been at 1 a.m. though.
Your brain is doing some wishful thinking.
Look it over. Let us know in the next episode if you find it. Yeah. But I think either way, it's okay. But that could be like if they messed up and said that they buried him, that'd be a way to.
Is it really a religious tradition? Is it?
I don't know.
Because I think it's mainly a Navarian tradition. I don't think it's a Coromil thing.
But I think it's burning the possessions specifically that is the important part. You have to like send them to the person in Mallet.
Right. It's why Violet went and found the letters.
Update from Elena.
It very much says burned. I don't know where I found buried.
You did the thing that I thought my brain did, just opposite. You saw burned and you thought buried, and you were like, "I'm tying my red string. It's up there. It's on the board."
I was so excited. I literally one of my very few unhinged notes was.
It's all right. You're awesome. It's okay. I think sometimes we look a little too closely, and then sometimes not closely enough. So you got to keep up your constant vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I wish I had an ebook version because I would control find buried just to make sure now I'm not reading it wrong.
Yeah. I definitely don't look it up either. Don't like search, did they bury Liam's body? Because that would potentially
That's a great point.
Bad things.
Did they?
Don't Google. No, Elena.
Yeah.
No.
We have to like Elena, specifically say it, not to do this.
Yeah.
Liam Theory. R/4th wing Liam
Theory. Hey, Elena, you're gonna have to stop because I don't want to be like looking at your face and trying to figure out why it's doing the things that it's doing while you're reading. You can't. You can look it up on your own time and then complain about finding spoilers later.
We saw
this being cut.
No, I'll leave it. This is fun. Did we say enough about
All right.
Imogen though? I think like the only other thing that I wanted to say about her was I loved when she comes to Violet and is like, "Hey, why are you running?" And she's like, "No, really, like, why did you say
Oh
that you
yeah.
don't think you'd be able to make it?" And she tells Imogen
Remember?
that like it's been haunting her how Soleil wasn't able to outrun like the magic
Hmm.
sucking of the venom, and that's how it killed her. And Imogen is just like, we're gonna get fast enough together. And I just loved that. I loved that moment.
Yes. I love that they're bonding now.
Yeah.
Especially how they started. Because she yelled at her saying that like, your mom killed my parents. You're a murderer. Like, I hate you. I want you dead.
And like
And now
ripped her arm
look
out
at
of her
them.
socket. Yes.
Yeah. Look at them
Yeah.
now.
And like joking about that too. Like, oops, sorry. Sorry, I like tried to yank your arm
Remember
out.
that time like I almost ripped your arm out? Look at us. We're
Mm,
besties.
yeah, it hurt. I'm hoping that we're not setting up Imogen to take Ree's place, is the thing that I'm getting nervous about because now Imogen is like the best friend, and I'm just hoping that it's not gonna
Oh,
be that
yeah.
Ree like and I don't think that Ree's gonna die. I'm just worried that Ree is going to be like anti-rebellion for however long.
Yeah, I think that's a real concern. I hope that's not the case.
I don't know. I'm not super concerned about it. Her family lives on a border town. So I feel like she would be incentivized to be pro revolution.
Yeah. That's my hope. But yeah,
She is a great squad leader, though. Like, I was very impressed by how.
so good.
Mhm.
Like very strict, but also like, helping out, turning a blind eye when Violet is poisoning people on the mat. So good. Yeah.
Such a
Brooke,
cool
am I
move.
allowed to reference other books?
No. No.
It's a
As soon
really
as you asked,
No. Nope.
where can I ask?
No, you can't. But I do
I'm
want to
gonna
talk
do it
about
anyway.
dragons. No, you can't. We're gonna talk about dragons.
Should we talk about
Um,
dragons? Or should we talk about Mama Soaring Gale?
let's talk
Because
about
remember
Mama
my
Sorniel.
theory? Remember my theory from Fourth Wing?
I've got stuff tabbed, Jamie. Take it away.
No, shut up. Sorry.
Wait, what?
My phone. No, sorry. My phone went off, and I was telling you to
Oh,
shut up.
shut up, phone. I'm doing something important. Yeah,
So,
no, what do you want to say about Mama Sorengale?
so if anyone has been watching and knows that I am like pro Mama Sorrentale's good. At first, when we start reading Iron Flame, I was so worried that oh no, she's not good because Brennan. Oh, how did we not talk about Brennan, by the way?
We'll talk about
We
him
do.
after.
I have
We'll go through the
a hot take on
Sorengales.
Brennan.
Okay. So Brennan is like, mom's awful. She doesn't, or we can't trust her, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh no, maybe she's not good. And then we get to the beginning of what was it, chapter 10, and I think also when they confronted Atos, Dane's dad about the war games. There's been like little clues that no, I think she's actually good. So page 85, there's the official notice about Mira being assassinated, and it made me think like, okay, maybe that's why she had Violet join the writers quadrant because it was her best chance of survival. That she can learn how to defend herself. Because I remember reading Fourth Wing and just being like, why did her mom make her do all this? For what purpose?
Yeah.
So is Mama Swan Girl good? Good.
No, I
She
I
definitely
also
didn't know
yeah, go ahead.
about like the evil murder plan. Like that is pretty definitive at this point, which I feel like is a good sign. But I'm still not convinced because it's still pretty clear she knows about the venom and is doing very little about it. At least
Yeah.
appearingly so.
Appearing to be doing little.
Yeah. I think that it was very clear in chapter 4, what you were just saying, Elena, when Xaden and Violet are telling the story, Violet is sure, like, that her mom has no idea. And it does really seem like her mom had no idea about what happened at Athabine. And I am now convinced that she knows what's going on and is doing something entirely on her own to try to, like, be against what's happening in Navarre. And I don't know what that is. I have no idea. But it does seem like she is acting entirely alone and that no one has any clue.
Do you think she knows about Brennan?
I don't. I don't
Yeah, I
think that
don't
she
either.
does. But I would like to believe. So there's that moment, and we definitely do have to talk about Brennan. There's that moment that Brennan and Violet have where Violet asks him, like, "Do you think that Dad knew?" And he says no. And at first I caught myself, like, believing that. I was like, okay, Dad didn't know. And I was like, nope, that's just one person's opinion. I think
Yep.
that Dad knew. And I think that both of Violet's parents knew, and that her mom is now doing something to try to stop Navarre, or like help the people outside. But she's just like a lone person and not working with the rebellion yet.
Yeah, you don't have a book of very illegal stories and leave your daughter a secret letter saying you know she'll do
Yes.
the right thing if you don't know about the secret
Yeah. And
evil monsters that live outside your walls.
we don't know a lot about General Sorrengail, but one thing that I would bank on is that she is not dumb. She is very intelligent and very observant, and she would know that those, like, folklore tales had been entirely purged from the archive and could not be shared, and she would have known that Violet was reading them with their dad. So I'm with you, Jamie. I'm really hoping that she's going to be like this really badass, just like sleeper agent that has been working in the
Mm-hmm.
background for forever. And we're going to find out she's got this like whole network or like something worked up, because they keep talking about like building the weapons and like, we used to have this weapon one time and it worked, but we don't really know how. And like, we need more weapon power. And it's like, maybe that's where she comes in. Maybe she's like, I got it figured out. It's right here. Like, let's go to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope she's good.
Yeah, her reaction seemed very genuine in that moment where she couldn't believe that Violet had almost died and was like very proud of what she had accomplished. Yeah. Fingers crossed for Mama Sorrengail. But yeah, Brennan. Who's got things to say about Brennan?
I am concerned about Brennan.
Yeah.
Mostly because, oh my god, I'm gonna say her name wrong. Sagel?
Sigale.
Gail.
Sigale doesn't like him. Which, I mean, could be nothing. Like, it could just be because Taryn was upset because his rider died trying to save Brennan. But it just was a weird little detail that put me on edge.
I also noticed that and did not love it. And I tried to think, Sigale also doesn't like Violet, which I find hilarious and didn't really realize until this book. But like, we know that their relationship is getting better, and it seems like the way that Sigale doesn't like Brennan is different from the way she doesn't like Violet. Yeah. It's like if your dog doesn't like someone, you're like, I have to go with that gut.
Well, and it's just,
Interesting.
I think leadership roles in general are sus, so there's nothing to say that leadership in the revolution is going to be any better than leadership in Navarre. And I don't think Brennan had to not tell, like, at least Mira. Like, he could have told someone he was, like, it just, what's he been doing for the past 6 years? Like, we just don't get a clear picture.
Yeah. I do understand that, like, to tell someone would be to trust them with the truth of the rebellion um and all the complications that come with that. But I did also have that thought where, like, Brennan, what have you been doing for 6 years that it's just been okay with you that all of your family think that you're dead? Yeah. I'm not like against him, but I did also like make a note just to like keep an extra eye on Brennan and like what he's up to.
And there's like more to it. I feel like with his supposed death too, that we didn't really get the whole picture on that either.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So
seemed
so Nowlin did succeed, but of course, he perished. And that's the part of the reason like why I didn't pick up on Sigale being mad at Brennan, because I just thought Sigale doesn't like anyone. Like has like a typical thing. But I thought it could be that she doesn't like him because that Nowlin put Cairn in danger.
Yeah.
Because Nowlin tried to save Brennan.
yeah.
Did we get confirmation that that's how Nowlin died? Like, or was that still Violet's inner thoughts?
I think that Brennan says that. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
update. I think you're right that Brennan does say
yeah.
that. He
Brennan says
conveniently
that
left out it
he
was
succeeded. He said
Yeah.
Nowlin succeeded, and then he and his dragon were like taken into the caves to recuperate before they went to the rebellion.
yeah, but he conveniently left out that they were in love.
Yeah. Violet does make a mention. She says maybe
Yes.
something more than friends. And I was like, called it! Secret
And
lovers!
he didn't say he had a wife. He said he didn't have a partner.
He did specifically say, I don't have a partner. And she did not say that. I read that line twice too. And I was like, okay, awesome. Brennan's gay. Really hoping he's not evil and maybe just like has like some leadership hangups that he needs to work through or just like be a better brother. Because there was like a lot of tension between him and Violet where she was like, I don't really know this guy anymore, but like he also doesn't really know me. Sad. Yeah. Brennan.
Can we
Who
talk
else do
about
we
the
need to talk
iron
about?
box?
Yes, we do need to talk about the iron box.
The very important looking iron box that they had to save to only immediately destroy before they could look into it. Like,
Yeah.
I know we were all dying to know what was in it, and then when we start reading, it's like, oh no, it was destroyed. Like what?
I don't think that it was. Or I think that it was destroyed after they took whatever was inside it or figured out what it was. Because
Yeah, I think that's what was said, that
Yeah.
they immediately took it out and then just destroyed it, and so Violet doesn't know what was even in it.
Yeah, I don't know if they even said anything about. I think they were just like, "Oh, we just had to destroy it," and I'm like, "That's bullshit." But I think that they're very clear in the beginning of the chapters. Like the insinuation is definitely there from Brennan, from everyone, even from Xaden, that there are things that they can't tell Violet at this point. So I'm wondering if it's just like, we destroyed the box. We'll tell you about it later. Like.
Fucking Dane.
If Xaden says one more time, "Oh, I can't tell you. I'm never gonna tell you all my secrets." Like, boy, please stop.
I do appreciate his honesty though. And I also was with Violet 100%. Like there are no lies or half-truths in a relationship. Like you absolutely cannot settle for that, Violet. Like absolutely yes. Like make sure that your relationship is totally truthful before you go forward with it. But I've actually come around to entirely appreciating Xaden just being like, in the nature of what I do, there will be things that I can't tell you, and you need to trust me on that. And I'm like, no, actually, I love the full transparency of I'm just not going to be able to tell you everything.
No, I think he needs to get to a point where he's like it's still him not trusting her, like him not trusting her ability to keep the secret. Like, and like to say he's always going to have secrets, like I think that, like I understand him having secrets now, but like his continued reinforcement that like he's always going to have things that he keeps from her, like eventually shouldn't the goal be that she's joining the revolution and being a big part of it? Like, bro, calm down.
It's a bit of a red flag.
I'm the only one that loves it.
I think I
don't
could go
know.
either way.
The way I see it is that he's being realistic about their current situation. Like they're not just two random
Yeah.
people falling in love, and because I think it would be a red flag any other way. Like if this was like a not fantasy like rom-com and he was like, I don't know, I can't promise to always tell you the truth because I might need to lie at some point. Like that would be a huge red flag to me, but I feel like in this situation of rebellion and like they keep saying that sometimes they can't tell people things for their own safety. It's like I understand that Zayden is just being extremely truthful with her in saying that I will tell you everything about me. It's just that I may not be able to tell you something about the rebellion, and you have to trust me that I'm making that choice for your own good and for like the good of everybody.
Yeah, I like that he's kind of meeting her halfway when
Yeah,
he can. And the letters are cute.
so cute. Also, he has a secret ex-girlfriend that I can't wait to hear about.
I wrote that down. Who is that? Who?
Secret ex-girlfriend. Katrina or
What?
Catriona or however you pronounce her
hmm
name.
Who?
What are the odds she's dead?
Oh, she's definitely dead, Elena. This is going to get very sad very quick. But right now we're going to joke about secret ex-girlfriend. She's definitely dead. Or betrayed him. Or both. Yeah.
Or she's alive, is gonna join, like, become a writer next year and then date Dane for the plot.
Okay, but if she became a
This
writer
is
next
wild.
year, then there would be a 4-year
No, I think that.
age difference between the two of them, which that would mean that he dated someone 4 years younger than him when he was 16? No, I'm going to go with no on that one.
Brooke, you were so quick on the math there. I'm like, whoa, impressed.
I can't remember how old they are when they do conscription day. That's the only thing that I was estimating.
20.
Oh, okay. So he would have been 20 when he came in. So at most it would have been 16 dating 20, which still isn't really okay in my book. But
hmm
No, if conscription day is 20, then he'd be 24 and she'd be 20, which is more okay.
no, because
Someone's got to check our math, right?
he would have had to have dated her before conscription day. So he would have been maximum
Oh,
like
okay.
19 or 20
Oh.
when they dated. So I'm gonna go
You're
no.
talking about Zayden. You're talking about Zayden and her. I was trying to figure out Dane and her.
Oh, that's slightly better. But yeah. How do we feel about Zayden and Violet? Like, what else about their situation? How do we feel?
I'm
What do
still
we
mad at
love? What
him
do we
about the
hate?
secrets thing.
Oh, all right. So Elena, you are with Violet, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like he should never have lied.
Well, no, I understand why he lied originally, and I understand why he has to lie now when she's around Dane all the time. But I am upset with him for saying he's always gonna lie to her. I just think that
Mm,
is too much.
okay.
I think it's awful that people are taking away their one day, but not even so much for Zayden and Violet as much as it is for Taryn and Sagal.
Gale.
Gale.
I agree with you. I think that until Zayden and Violet can figure their shit out, caveat, they're never going to be able to do that unless they get more time together. That I am not concerned about them spending time together because all they're going to do is make out and then feel weird about it afterward, which like I'm already over that part.
Yeah.
But I do also feel bad for Taryn and Segale, like on this last one, where they definitely on purpose put them in the woods like the day before, and they were like, "Good luck finding your way out." That like Taryn only got a few hours with her, and I'm like, that's not enough time for like dragon boning and bonding. Like they'd have to choose. No one should choose.
Well, and then at the end of this chapter, Zayden's away on some secret mission that they're not allowed on, that I feel like they're probably going to end up going on anyway because no one's going to tell Taryn he can't go on the secret mission. But it's also awful because they mention it at least once that it causes them physical pain to be away from each other. Like the bond starts physically hurting them.
I will make you feel slightly better that I think, unless I'm wrong, at the end of chapter 16, it says, I might be here, but Xaden is on 24-hour duty in the operations center. So I think it's again
Oh,
that Taryn and Sigale can go hang out, but Xaden and Violet will not be able to see each other. And Violet's just going to be like
okay.
twiddling her thumbs in Xaden's room for a day before
I'm
they
fine
leave.
with that. Okay, that does make me actually feel better.
Yeah. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I can't wait till they can be together again. Like
Yeah.
together. But since we're talking about Xaden's room, did you guys catch how there was like a rune stone just like pointed out? And that was it.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. If it's
I
like
don't know
supposed to be one of
either.
the ones like in the dagger's hilt, or if it was like a special memento from something, but I think we'll find out.
Hmm.
Yeah. Chekhov's runestone. Like, what does this mean? Where is it coming into the plot? I will say that for them, I do think that they're making progress. Like it's like a variation of the same conversation that they're having every time, but I do feel like they're getting closer. Like even in this last time that they were together, like Violet somehow thought that the 3 words that he wanted her to say were that I want you. And I was like, girl, get your head out of the toilet. Like those are not the 3 words he was talking about, but I get that like they have done like a total 180 where now Violet's like, oh, okay, we can bang, but like I don't want anything serious because I can't trust you. And now Xaden's the one that's like, either you love me or we're not together. Like I love that they're both fighting for the same thing. I think they just have to keep like talking it through and figuring out like how they make this work for them in this weird situation that they find themselves in.
Hmm. Big dummies.
Big dummies. Dragon time? Taryn? We love Taryn. Do we want to share our favorite Taryn one-liners before we start in on Taryn plot?
I
I
need
had
to re-find
so
it.
many to choose from.
Oh, I have one because I bookmarked it.
Oh,
'Cause
go!
It's something I would say as a mom.
Yeah.
Where is it? There's the dragon who spent 20 minutes refusing to put on her harness.
Because Aunt Darna's so cranky now.
So cranky, so
Cranky.
sassy.
Sassy teenager. Yeah. I love her. I love her
But she
sass.
still loves Violet so much. Like when she like tells Violet like you don't have stopping power and like is watching her and is so concerned that Violet's gonna be upset and then Violet accepts her and it's the cutest little moment.
So cute.
That was really cute.
What other lines?
I was gonna say I bookmarked the wrong page, so now I gotta re-find it. Go ahead, Elena. What was yours?
Yeah, I found mine. It's when they're learning how to like do the flying dismount and Violet's like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that. And Taryn decrees adaptation will be necessary. And Violet's like, what? How? And he goes, I didn't say we would. The Dragon Watcher will adapt his request, or I'll have an early lunch. Because Taryn's like, no one can tell us what to do.
He's so great.
Hmm.
He's the best.
It's just so cute that like all of these things other dragons would view as flaws, he's like, you don't need to do that. That's stupid.
Yeah. He's like, no, we're already
Especially
amazing.
especially right after Dane's the one showing it off, being like, look at how cool I am.
Well, and Violet even like makes like I forget who she makes the comment to, or if it's like internal or to Taryn, but she says like we're not even gonna need to do this. Like the thing that they need to be teaching us for the actual enemy is how to get off the ground faster, not get onto the ground faster. And it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
this whole college is stupid. It's actually pointless. Like all it is a murder machine. And like the Griffin, I think she says that like one of the Griffin writers said that it's like just an actual like murder machine. All it does is kill people. Like, yeah, that is really
Mhm.
its only goal. Um, I liked when they were talking about how to get Andarna back to the Vale because she was like 4 times the size that she used to be. And Violet is asking Taryn, she says, "Can you fly her back to the Vale? She's huge." And he says, "I've killed lesser riders for that kind of insult." Just like, yeah. Taryn's like, "I can handle anything. Like, you do not need to ask." He's
I
great.
also love that he's like, I would kill you for this, but I will also kill anyone that tries to kill you, but I'm gonna threaten to kill you.
He just, like any good parent, he needs to make sure that, like, if you were not my kid, if you were not my bonded.
Exactly.
So good. So good. I always hear his voice in like a snarly grandpa voice too. So
Hmm.
rumbly grandpa.
Is now
But
when
yeah,
we can talk about how Andarna is definitely
yes.
General Melgren's Melgren.
Melgren.
Melbourne. I like Melbourne.
General Melgren's dragon's child.
I think that's a
my
great
current
theory. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Mostly because he's the only other black dragon we know, and her parents aren't in her life.
Yeah, they did say other black dragons were popping up, but but Kodav, the other black dragon, was the one who like told them that other black dragons were popping up. So maybe he's personally involved in other black dragons popping up.
Also, I feel like Sigale and Taryn are hooking up enough that at least one of those dragons could be theirs, and he just didn't mention it.
I think they would know, and they were really clear in Fourth Wing that they do not have kids.
Yeah, I remember Zayden asking her. Right?
Yeah. I thought that they were really clear about not having kids, but twice they've been very clear that Andarna is not theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of miss that she's not golden anymore. I don't know if
Do
he
any of
lost,
you?
but the same.
Oh no, I did. Do any of you think that they're going to spray paint her? Because I think they're going to spray paint her.
You think so?
At some point, so think about it. At some point, Violet is going to show up with 2 black dragons. Like, and then people are going to be like, "Why is other dragon not gold now?" And also 10 times the size that it used to be. How are they going to hide that? Because like this is kind of what this book is like. One of the big things that it's leading toward is like Varish or whatever his name is. He keeps punishing Violet because she keeps not bringing Andarna to like flying lessons. So he very much wants to figure out like what the power of baby dragons is and like everything with them. How are they going to hide it?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's a really good theory. Let's break.
What if he has a baby dragon? What if that's what Nolan keeps?
Oh, I don't like that at all.
What are you guys leading up to? What?
Like if Varish is like doing experiments on a baby dragon with Nolan.
No.
Oh, I'll kill him.
I don't think it would be.
Too.
I don't think they're experimenting on dragons. I think it's like actual people.
Oh, that would be awful.
Didn't they take away that cadet that had asked for some books or something?
They said he's dead, or he was on the death roll, but we know that the death roll can lie.
Oof.
No, it's probably unlikely because there's no way they would have stolen a baby dragon without the dragons knowing. But
yeah,
I just feel like you have a point. Like he's weirdly into Andarna for not a clear reason.
Yeah, he's like a weird like poacher. I just get like weird poacher vibes. He's like, I just want that rhino horn. Like I just want to, grind it and snort it or whatever people do with rhino horns.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think they're going to be able to spray paint her. Like, there's no way they can paint her gold all of the time for the rest of eternity.
I just kept picturing like her just like all like metallic gold spray painted and
maybe there's like a magical cloak that
yeah, I mean it's gonna have to come out at some point, right? Like they're not gonna be able to keep it a secret because small gold dragon becoming big black dragon is going to raise questions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hope Indarna like injures, kills Varish.
That'd be great. Just like an
I feel like
Andarna
anyone
Terran
killing him.
tag team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you put our girl through this?
Yeah, he's definitely my least favorite character. Like, I think that we keep saying that Melgren is probably super evil, but he hasn't done anything yet. Like
Mhm.
actually in the time of the books.
Yeah. No, Varish is like
I'm
really
also
gross.
I'm sad that Markham's evil because Violet
Yeah.
used to really like him.
Mhm.
I do keep wondering if maybe she's reading the room incorrectly, but based off of the things he was saying and the way he was acting in that like battle brief, it does seem like he realizes that now she knows and is like pissed. Just icky.
Mm.
But there have been multiple mentions even before we got to like the Jacinia part of Violet, like she was going to help in her own way. And like I think somebody says like, like violence or whatever, like fighting is what's gonna, get us out of this. And she's like, I can get us out of this my own way. And I love the possibility and the probability that like the scribes are going to figure out like how to save the day. Just like knowledge wins.
That would be really
Well,
cool.
yeah, because they have the secret word stone that exists in whatever that city's called for who knows why. Where'd this word stone come from? Can't do anything with that.
It's in Eretia, where Xaden grew up, the city that was
Yeah,
burned. The other thing
I
that's in Eretia, they mentioned that the black dragons used to have their nest there because of its like thermal veil spot. And I was like, okay, like, is there another black dragon that's potentially having these baby black dragons? Like, is that where we're?
that's an interesting theory. Well, and they also need to find a way to create the word stuff, the like black
Yeah,
worry thing.
yeah, it's like a metal
Oh, the
combined
material
metals.
used for the knives or daggers.
Yeah, that they also use for the wards. And Xaden
Mhm.
had like a one-off line where he said that you have to like imbue the magic into the sword and that's a
Yeah.
very, very rare power that people have. And I'm like, well, we are looking for another signet power that will hopefully be very powerful, maybe in a protectory type violent way. So is it possible that Violet gets the power to like basically make these weapons? Maybe.
I had
Well,
like a similar
and also,
theory that she could like power the wards or something.
Mm,
Because they were saying like, okay, these are the daggers that or the material that can only kill the venin, venite,
Venom, yeah.
venin. Sorry.
That's my best
And
guess.
like
I won't look it up.
but then like she has the power to kill them too. So maybe
Mhm.
there's something there.
Yeah.
well, and I keep going back to like, why are so many black dragons popping up, and if it has something to do with like, are they somehow connected to being able to make words work? I don't.
Maybe. I liked too that Taryn basically confirmed that the reason why fewer and fewer dragons are coming to Bond is because they don't love the whole situation with Navarre, like ignoring the people outside of the wards, and that they don't like know that they can trust the humans and they don't really want to be part of it. And I was like, ah, so we just have a ton of dragons like ready in the wings for when we go. We're gonna fight for all of dragonkind. Are you with us? And they're like, yep. And then we just like, I'm picturing we arm the healers, we arm the scribes, we arm the cool infantry. We're just like, everybody grab a dragon, hang on tight, let's go.
Oh, that would be really cool.
I liked getting to meet the people in the other quadrants in the like tramping through the forest exercise. I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool.
That was
Yeah.
really cool. I forgot about that in all of the things that had happened.
There were so many things, but like Dyer, like Violet saving Dyer, who I think was an infantry person,
Mhm.
like saving him from
Dyer.
being killed.
Yeah.
I think he
No,
was
I think
infantry.
Dyer was. I thought Dyer was a healer.
Oh, maybe he was a healer. Um,
Yeah, Thomas was the other squad leader that unfortunately perished.
Rip.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
Um,
just
they
I like
did
seeing
so
other sides of
bad.
it. Oh, he did.
I'm I'm so excited for future ones when they work with the same people and start to bond and become the best little mini squadron.
Yes. And I think that it is showing us like what is to come. Like we've got to pull more people into this rebellion. Like it can't just be dragons and riders. Like it has to be healers. It has to be infantry. We've got to get the scribes on board. Like when Imogen like digs at Violet for like being friends with scribes, I was like, no. This is like we need the scribes. We need them to accurately account for everything that the rebellion is doing. And I think that that was sort of foreshadowed with Aoife.
Oh, that's
Like
how you say it.
that name I do know. That is a very popular Irish name. Aoife went with
Ah.
them, and Jacinia like asked Violet to just look it over and was like, "Oh, I'm good that it's accurate because sometimes it's hard to just put something down in a non-biased way."
Hmm.
So it's like, putting the Avengers together, assemble, maybe.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to make Avengers references, and I'm not allowed to make other book references?
If anyone doesn't know about the Avengers, that's on them. And I didn't ruin anything about the Avengers. I mentioned their name.
Well, I
Not the
was gonna say
members.
that I'm so
All right, Elena, we're going to pause and then you go ahead and give us your theory, and I will cut this if I have to.
you don't. I'm just so excited for Dumbledore's army to form at the
Okay.
school.
Let's say from henceforth, you can always ruin Harry Potter things. That's all right. You heard it here, folks. We will rampantly spoil Harry Potter for you. Yes, them putting together Dumbledore's army. I totally agree with you. Yeah, and like doing stuff on their own and finding stuff in the archives and figuring out all of the twists and then creating good. I'm very looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any other thoughts? Any other things that
I
people
don't
were
know.
thinking?
Let me look at my unhinged notes.
I was
The
trying to
kiss
think if
was
there
hot.
was the what, Jamie?
The kiss.
Oh god, that kiss was so hot. So hot. And not even just because like consent was on point. Like Violet
Yep.
was like, "What if I hypothetically asked if you would only kiss me?" And he was just like, "Done." And then when she clearly was not okay with just macking it, he was like, "No, you asked me to just kiss you, and I'm not doing anything else with you until you love me." And I was like, "Yeah." Yep. I can hold out for that. Yeah.
How far?
Other than that,
How far until we more than mac it? Or
How far
say
can you wait?
the L word. No, I could actually wait the whole book, honestly. I
I
think
don't
that
think
this
we're
is
gonna have to, because
probably
one
not.
of the reviews is a wild, sexy roller coaster of.
So definitely more than one super steamy makeout scene against a wall.
oh
Over and
wow,
out.
I've actually never really read.
You guys know I don't read summaries or backs of books
Yeah.
ever.
Sometimes they give it away.
Well, you got to be careful. Yes, my assumption is that
By the way,
probably toward the
this
end.
praise is for Fourth Wing, so no spoilers for
Oh,
Iron Flame.
okay. Well, then
Oh,
maybe your theory is not correct, Elena.
Oh, Brooke,
I
I don't think you went over your theory for the title,
Oh,
right? Did you
that's
want to
dark.
talk about that? Oh, okay.
Um, Well, so, because we already knew what the title was while we were reading Fourth Wing. So I knew it was Iron Flame, and I noticed when they got the Iron Squad
Yeah.
pin for like being the squad that had the most people not die. I was like, okay, that's got to be what we're referring to with Iron Flame, and they're all in Flame section. So honestly, up until Nadine got her neck snapped, I thought it was going to be like we're going into the final battle, like Violet's in charge, and she's like, we are Iron Flame, like we will not lose anyone, and then like they lose one or two people. And I'm wondering if we can still kind of do that, if it's like we are a group, we're a family, and we're gonna like either basically like get through it together or die together. And I don't think that Nadine's going to be the only casualty in the book. Like, I'm sure we're going to lose at least one or two people at the end again, but I think that's like that's sort of the insinuation that the book is making, is about like them having the most people standing at the end or not.
Should we
I
make
see
a
what you
betting pool
mean.
on the next character death and why it's gonna be Sawyer? No. Please
Who's
don't
going
let
to
it
die
be
next?
Sawyer.
Why is it Sawyer?
I told Elena, like, he's the dreamer. He
Yeah.
can't. And I said the dreamer always dies. You did.
So I think it depends a lot about how reacts to the rebellion, because I now see her and Sawyer very much linked now that Sawyer is her executive officer. And I could see the two of them maybe like charging in at the end if they were kind of anti-rebellion or like didn't want to listen at first, and then maybe one of them perishing, because I just don't see Rhiannon dying in this book. Maybe later, but that would be hard.
Sawyer could help with the revolution because he's a metal jurist. Is that how you say it?
Ooh,
Oh.
that's a great catch, Jamie. I had totally forgotten that he does metallurgy.
Yes, metal jurist. That's a cool word.
I'm just a nerd,
Yeah,
so I know how to say metallurgy.
I thought you were gonna say the title was more of an allusion to, like, don't they need some flame thingy to make the important weapons? Like, I thought it was gonna be more
Oh, the Illuminary.
about how they're gonna be forging things.
No, I mean, I think it's more them coming together as a whole team within the revolution, but that's a really
That's
good
deep.
thought too, Elena. And they need the luminary, they keep saying, which like intensifies dragon fire enough to melt the metal to make the daggers that they need.
Yeah, no, your theory is so much better. Makes so much more sense. I just, when you were like, oh, I know what the title is, I was like, oh, I think I know where she's going with this.
But that's good because you came up with your own theory that's also totally plausible. I think too, like Fourth Wing was like their group in book 1, and now it's like Iron Flame, I think, is like their group in book 2. We don't know what the titles are for further down the line in the series, but that's my guess. Do you know what the titles are for further down the line, Elena?
No, that was I'm gonna have to wait so long.
Oh, we've got enough cool books to read in between now and when the next book comes out. Don't worry. Time will pass by super fast. But
To
yeah.
answer your question, Elena, I don't have any guesses who's gonna die next.
Oh. No.
Varys. There we go.
I'm trying to think like where I think that it's going, but I don't have a good guess, honestly, for like what is going to happen next.
There's always Bodhi as an option. Like, Bodhi is always pretty high up on the characters that could be murdered list.
I know that I said during Fourth Wing that Bodhi was really expendable because he and Garrick were very similar. I now would love to take that back and have never uttered it into existence, because I also now really love Bodhi. Like, just their little group just warms my heart every time. Like Bodhi being like, hey, could you like take your sexual tension somewhere else? That'd be great. Okay, thanks. Or like, don't get me in trouble for talking about his ex.
Yeah, I think Bodhi would be a good guess just because there are active assassination attempts against all 7 of them from the battle that are left.
Yeah.
And one of them has to hit at some point, right? And it can't be Imogen or Xaden or Violet.
I don't know. That's so bad. I mean, so yeah, we've lost Kieran. Kieran got flame balled by Solas.
Coincidentally.
No, not coincidentally at all. Have we lost anybody else other than
I don't think
Sky and
yet.
Liam? I don't think so either. Trying to like think
No,
through all of
not
them
yet.
quickly, but yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. At least one of them probably has to die during this book. Would also be my guess, and I don't want it to be any of them. So there.
Dane.
Dane. No, Dane definitely makes it until at least the second to last book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially with him trying to be all like, I'm a good person. Like, I care about you. I'm just very flawed. Yeah. But yeah. I can't think of anything else. So far, I really like this, and I had heard mixed reviews about many different things with this book, and so far, I'm not seeing any of it. I really like it.
I agree.
Yeah, I will say the one thing that I had heard negative reviews on was that the banter and like the dialogue wasn't as good in this book as it was in the last book. And after I finished the 16 chapters, I remembered that someone had said that, and I was like, no,
What are you
it's
talking
great.
about?
Like totally still great. And I don't know like if it's just really good at the beginning and gets stale later on, but I loved it. Like the dragon one-liners, the little like conversations between Bodhi and Imogen and Violet, and just like the little moments I think are just still so great.
Riddick's so funny.
When Violet almost slit his throat, I was like, Riddick, you deserved that. You don't sneak up on the girl. She almost got killed last week. Oh, all right. On to chapters 17 to 39. Am I remembering correctly?
Wherever part 2 starts.
36. Right.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
17 to 36 through 36. We're finishing part 1 for next week. Yeah. Is that enough to tide you over for a few days, Elena? Possibly
No,
no.
because I don't know when we're actually going to talk about it.
It'll be in like a few days.
But you've been taking notes, so keep at it.
Yeah, hang in there.
Keep the unhinged notes going.
Yeah. I took them all after the fact because I couldn't talk to anyone because I finished it first.
Oh, I'm gonna keep up this time so we can talk more about it during the process. But yeah, everybody read along with us. What, Elena?
Oh, I was just saying I couldn't keep reading either because I would have gotten yelled at.
Because your book club is evil and we make you stop at a certain part so that we can talk about it. We're so bad. The rest of you can all read as much as you want, but if you want to stick with us, read through part 1 and then come back next week and we'll chat about it. See how it keeps going. Right. Thanks, guys. Bye.